Okay, I don't know about you, but typically when I fly, I like to book through United or Delta Airlines here in the US. Those are just two airlines I've always had really good repetitive experiences with, as well as have racked up some points. Now, my best friend and my business partner, Mark, whom we run our clothing brand Wander Till You're Lost, check it out, together booked me a flight down to Florida to see him. But Mark also got engaged. Everyone go, yay, Mark got engaged. But it's not all claps, because in booking my flight down to Florida, he booked me on Frontier Airlines. Now, if you're not familiar with Frontier Airlines, they are an airline here in the United States, kind of like Spirit Airlines or Ryan Airlines for European friends, and they're just notorious for being really, really bad. So Frontier is known for having really low ticket prices, as low as $29 for some flights, but everything else about the airline you have to pay for, whether that be a carry-on bag, a checked bag, your seat, all kinds of stuff. They put on as many additional charges as they can, and that's how they make their money. Well, when I looked at my flight to check the price of carry-on bag for this 3 to 4 day trip, it is $71. $71 to bring a normal sized backpack onto the airline. But what Frontier does have is a free personal item. However, the dimensions are extremely, extremely small, which gave me the idea for a challenge. So I figured if I could find a way to fit my entire 3 to 4 day trip in this tiny allowed personal item, I could not only beat Frontier at their own game, but I also wouldn't have to spend more than $50 on this round trip flight to Orlando. So let's set some rules. So rule number 1 for this challenge is I'm going to have to get a new bag. Nothing in my vault is going to be small enough that I can utilize in a way that I would want to make this trip happen. So we're gonna have to find a new bag to use on this adventure. Rule number 2 for the challenge is the bag has to be under 20 liters. I think that's just kind of helping me when it comes to looking for the bag, because let's face it, anything over 20 liters is definitely gonna be too big. Honestly, I probably need to get like closer down to like the 14 liter range, if we're being honest. In rule number 3, of course, we have to beat Frontier at their own game, because as of recently, there's been some articles about Frontier being in a couple lawsuits because people that had bags that were smaller than the personal item free item dimensions were being forced to pay that $70 carry-on fee. So if I make sure that my bag is under the personal item dimensions, will I still get asked to pay for a carry-on? So this, of course, brings us to part 2. Now we have to find a bag that we can use on this, that maybe you can use, that's in a budget-friendly area that will allow us to beat this challenge and keep it on those personal item dimensions. Now, in doing so, I created this handy-dandy tier chart. Okay, so on this tier chart, I looked at 3 different bags that would fit the dimensions of the personal item that Frontier has, because according to their website, it is 14 by 18 by 8. So now with these 3, we have the new Bellroy Via Pack, the Bellroy Tokyo Tote, I'd probably go compact, the 14 liter version, and then down here is the Topo Designs Global Briefcase. So in doing my research for this video and this challenge, I reached out to some people in the backpacking review realm and got their opinion on some of these bags. Now for the Tokyo Tote Pack, I talked to my friend Aaron over at Nomads Nation. Now he said it was a pretty good bag and overall he was really happy with it. Now what I like about this bag specifically is the fact that it kind of can go into that briefcase mode. So my thinking is the dimensions on the personal item are more briefcase. They're more long than they are tall. So if I can get a bag that I can wear as a backpack long ways, and then when I have to board the plane, I can rotate it sideways and carry it in like a brief, maybe I can keep it under those dimensions and sneak back Frontier. And when I told Aaron about that, he said that the Bellroy Tokyo Tote would be a pretty good one for that. So I like all those elements of the Tokyo Tote. I think it's a strong contender. So I'm just gonna simply put that as a strong maybe in my opinion. Okay, so the next one is the Global Briefcase from Topo Designs. Now in this one, I reached out to my friend Tom. I know Tom from Pack Hacker and Aaron from Nomads Nation. Actually know quite a lot of reviewers. I'm in a group chat with them, but you know, I'm not trying to brag or anything. But when I asked him about it, he said the person that reviewed it for Pack Hacker really loved it and loved it so much that they actually continued to use it beyond the testing phase. That's how much they liked it. What I like about the Global Briefcase is we have these 2 compartments here on the front that could easily be used for like a tech kit and my very minimal DOP kit that I'm gonna take with me. And then all I'd have to do is just fit my clothing in the middle compartment. So I think, again, because it's that briefcase, it's got that long, it's not very tall, it fits the dimensions, and as a briefcase, it could easily do that. So we're gonna simply just move that one, because it's a strong contender, right there. And that brings us to our last bag on the list, which is the Bellroy Via. Now, this is a new bag from Bellroy, very small, does not do the briefcase, but could be brought in like a tote. Now, I haven't seen a lot of reviews for this because it is fairly new, but I am kind of excited. It looks small, it looks thin. I think I could easily fit my clothing in there. Since I am going to Florida, I don't think I need to pack that much. And honestly, as long as the bag is small enough, I can make sure that I pack around that. So that's fine. So when it comes to the Via, I didn't have anybody that I could reach out to about it, but I do like it quite a bit and it could be interesting. So I think that that makes it easily a strong maybe. So now that we've talked about all of them, all we simply have to do is figure out which one on the tier chart was the best contender, look for that yes, and we've got it. So now, well, shit.
1 week later.
Okay, so the backpack that we are gonna go with for this test is the Via Work Pack from Bellroy. Now, after I made that tier list, I emailed my contact over at Bellroy, told them what was going on with the video and that I was looking at 2 of their bags, because if I'm being honest, the Tokyo Toe Pack and this were the 2 I was looking at just because I'm a big fan of Bellroy. They're one of my favorite brands out there. So not only was I super stoked when they said that not only would they send me the Via Work Pack to use on this test and to also try out, but they are also giving you guys a 10% discount code. If you follow the link down below in the description, when you click on it, it'll take you over to Bellroy's website, a little pop-up will show up, and you can hit yes, and you can claim a discount for 10% off anything you want from Bellroy. So huge thank you to Bellroy for not only giving you guys that discount, but also providing us with our test subject. Now, on with the test. So the first thing I noticed when I got to the Denver airport was an insanely large number of people for 3 a.m. going through security. So after being surprised and slowly shuffling my way through the over hour wait time, it was finally time. Saw my gate and I knew what needed to happen. But then a crisis hit. Every bathroom in the terminal was being cleaned. In order to find a bathroom, I had to walk the entire terminal. My gate is way down there. Thanks, Denver Airport. As I was sitting in front of my gate, I felt my heart hit my stomach, and I realized that I was actually nervous to try to pull this off. As I got in line to board the plane, the 2 people in front of me, which had bags about the same size as the Via Work Pack, were asked to pay for their bags as carry-ons because they didn't believe they fit. And after they put them in the personal item and they didn't quite fit by just a little bit, they were pulled off to the side and forced to pay whatever that fee was for their bags. And with me being right behind them, I just felt like it was inevitable that I was going to be the next one. But then it happened. We did it. And with the biggest smile on my face, I boarded the plane knowing that I had accomplished what I came out here to do. So I put the bag nice under the seat in front of me, gave myself a little thumbs up, and looked out the window with a sense of accomplishment. So I know it's very possible to fly Frontier and have a small bag as your personal item if you wanted to, and you could pack light enough to fit your entire trip in, and you didn't care about paying for a seat or anything else. You could buy a cheap Frontier ticket, pack extremely light, take a small bag like the Bellroy Via Work Pack, and not have to pay any additional fees, which does make Frontier a little enticing, but overall the experience of Frontier still is not quite my favorite. So with all that being said, we came here and we won and we accomplished what we wanted to do. And with that, I'm going to take that victory and not think about my return flight where I have to do the exact same thing. So with all that being said, don't forget to like, subscribe, all that wonderful nonsense. Thank you so very much for all the love and support that you give this channel. It means the absolute world to me. And with all of that being said, with a mighty thumbs up and a big victory smile, I will see you next time.